Hello, MELS 605 candidates. Dr. Palermo with the week 7 instructional video, informational video. I may ramble on a little long this week. I try to be brief, but if I speak fast and you miss something, you know you can rewind and watch me 2, 3, 4 times if you want to. Using the week as a structure for my comments, let me go here first. A shout out to Amber Brown, who's given me permission to share this link is her response to a previous post from a couple of weeks ago, Glickman, collaborative behaviors. And, you know, when you're coaching, Amber is apparently quite adept at this coaching stuff. When you're coaching a teacher, it requires a different set of skills than providing directive feedback. And this is a little bit of an art. So giving you some opportunity to look at the theory and practice the theory. Amber's response was just over the top. It was great. So thank you, Amber. And take a look at that if you want to see it. But I posted because I want to talk just a little bit about your competency folio. Again, we are almost at midpoint in your 605 last semester, but in the remodeled program, you're asked to create a competency folio in TaskStream that demonstrates your competency in the 21 competencies required by the North Carolina Executive Leadership Instrument. And oh, by the way, if you need to know how to load that competency folio, here's the link. You should have seen this. Your coach should have maybe shown it to you. But here's a video from Dr. Hamilton about how to create that folio in TaskStream. If you haven't done it already, you need to do that immediately. And then what I'm trying to broach here is the subject of what goes in there. Well, most of the competencies you get to demonstrate through your artifact evidence through the APSL and the APTL, the SIAP. These school improvement projects really demonstrate a lot of your management and communication skills. So you can load those there. Also, the peer work that you've done, like the peer videos, often can demonstrate some competency. But what about the theory and the work that you're doing through the coursework? Well, I happen to think that, for instance, this week, your assignment using Glickman and observational skills is to do an observation. And I know that many of you, most of you, probably have to do a peer observation as part of your teaching. Most of you are site-based folks and have an opportunity to observe another. Well, isn't that a skill that demonstrates your competency in some of these 21 competencies? Yeah, I believe that it does. So after you complete your post for this week on Glickman, think about where that might fit in your competency folio. You're supposed to get permission from your coach and make sure that the coach, he or she, agrees. But I think that these are strong evidences of your competencies and that you're doing this work now, demonstrating both the understanding, the knowledge, but also the skill. So if you have real evidence of these from these documents, please use that. So this week, moving forward, it's Hersey and Glickman. Again, Hersey, chapter 8, 9, power. Oh, boy. A little bit of a reflection about power. And let me get my book. Okay. So, I was a principal 12 years or so, and power. Some folks get a little bit crazy with power, but I hope that you won't. And again, depending on your edition of Hersey, I asked you to look at figure 8.1, this simple little concept here of selling up and managing down. How would that look in your organization? And show me you understand that simple little concept. But also spend some time thinking about situational leadership and power, the perception and impact of power. And I hope that you're not a power crazy kind of leader. But anyway, Glickman chapters 12 and 13 are assessing and planning skills. You've done a bunch of planning, in particular 5E, the CAP part E was to create a Gantt chart, a flow chart of some some sort. I don't know how familiar you might be with quality tools. We often use those, but in chapter 12, there are a variety of quality tools, and I hope that you'll read those and understand those. Flowcharts. We had a flow chart in my middle school for what you do when the fire alarm goes off. And I had it posted in the office because people were always coming and going and, what do we do when that fire alarm goes off? Well, is it a real fire? Call the fire department. A flow chart can help you decide the processes. Create something if you've never done this. Look at the different charts and the fishbone, the Gantt. These are all great quality tools that can help you in your assessing and planning skills. Demonstrate that you understand, please, and show me a simple chart. And then in the observational skills, this was a big deal. And again, I kind of warned you in advance that this one was coming. But if you have already done a peer observation on someone this year, might have done it back in September, reflect on that now, and don't load the observation, please. Do not violate anyone's confidentiality by loading the observation. But I was going to ask you to describe what you saw. Was it a third grade language arts lesson? Was that high school civics? What was the teacher doing? Interpret what you saw and write a reflection about the observation, the feedback process. I want you to think about the observing skills that are described in Glickman chapter 13. And oh, by the way, boy, if you've never done a specific observation of students on task or off, or the Hunter model, is there cooperative learning going on, a constructivist lesson, charting the questions and answers. Who gets response opportunities? Who gets to answer questions? Is it more boys than girls? Is it equitable? That's really interesting stuff to observe and give folks feedback about. So you do have more work to do this week. We're coming up on a break, so work hard now, please. By the way, if you have not already done a peer review with your SIAP-F, get on it right away. There are only one or two I see that have not completed that process in the discussion board. I see lots of activity in there. I'll be looking at that later today and give you all some feedback on it. But SIAP-F is the last of the artifact components that you need to load. And well, I may say something about OMA next week, but you should have completed this peer review process on these artifacts, and you should be loading them in TaskStream. This should be the last of the artifacts that you load in TaskStream, and maybe if you've not done any of those competency uploads, you can shift over and start doing that. If you've not created the competency folio, here are instructions. Get on it immediately. And then 12 items. I don't believe that you're required to load something in all 21 of those competency folders as legacy students, but I'll get some clarification on that too. Hope you have a great week. That's plenty for me. I got a great invitation to join a Zoom last night. Thank you for that, but there was some round ball going on. Sorry, I missed it. Have a great week.